3HL 104.5, The Zone Wednesday edition means what, Flea?
Day.
It is definitely that.
Yes.
And we've got a special guest in the studio. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. We're usually here. Greg Cosell is in town and in studio.
Cosell.
I am indeed here. I know. It's crazy.
We love having you in person.
What's going on, Greg?
It's been a great couple of days. I got here Sunday night, been out at the Titans camp the last 3 days. And the best thing is that they practice at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Seriously, because it's so hot.
Exactly.
By the time they end, though, and they went long today.
They did go a little longer today because tomorrow is an off day.
That's right.
I think I don't follow the collective bargaining agreement, but I think you can only practice for 3 consecutive days, and then you need a day off. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah, and then so they typically do kind of a walkthrough practice after having a day off.
They did that on Monday. I'm not sure what they're going to do on Friday. I think that, I guess they'll decide that. The coaching staff will decide what they want to do on Friday. You are allowed to have 3 padded practice days in a row, but then you have to have the next day off. I mean, it's, I'll tell you one thing. I've been to a lot of training camps in my career, not so many recently as I did years ago, but it is a really long, hard day for players and coaches. I mean, it's... I know a lot of people think, oh, these guys, they make a lot of money. They're playing a kid's game. It's, this is not so easy. And it's so mental. I mean, just the amount of material that they're asked to understand, and they go through this stuff really quickly. Now, obviously, a lot of this stuff was presented to them, in the off season, in the OTAs and the mini camps. So it's not brand new, but they do add things. And it's, this is a tough deal.
It's funny. I talked with Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who I know you really like.
He's fun to watch, too.
He said himself, I've got a swagger to my game.
He does.
You're starting to see that now, and the confidence level. He's always jawing at people.
Had some good reps with Ridley in the one-on-ones.
He talked about that. He said, I can't even put a price on that, on how much that helps me to be able to go up against a guy that good. Well,
I told Calvin Ridley, in fact, when I was leaving, I said to him, I said, listen, I said, I got to tell you, I've been doing this a long time, and you are so smooth. And, he's a really nice guy, by the way. And he thanked me. And then I said, I would just like to be able to move like you do for a day. And he was cracking up. I mean, that guy is so smooth.
So smooth.
So during practice, Zeph and I are standing on the sideline watching, and Ridley finishes a drill. He stands in front of us, and he was talking with Cam about what they just saw and things like that. They got done with their conversation. He takes his gloves off, goes over, during practice, goes over to a kid, hands the gloves to the kid, and says, thanks for being here. And then runs back to the thing. It's like little things like that you don't see about players, that they are people too.
And I think that, the Titans, handled this week really well because they're going on the road next week and the week after. And, they had the fans come out. I mean, that's what it's all about for fans. They want to be there. They want to feel like they're part of it. Nashville, obviously, as you guys know, they don't have a Major League Baseball team. You don't have an NBA team. Obviously, you have the Preds that I know when they do really well, people are excited. But when they don't, they're probably not as excited, I would imagine, because it's not a natural hockey town, like going back, 30, 40, 50 years. So, it's a football town. I mean, not only SEC football, obviously, but the Titans. It's a Titans town. So, you want to cultivate that. You want to make sure that fans are interested no matter what the record is, and I think that's all plays into how important it is. They understand that in the organization.
Well, back to what you were saying about the playbook and things like that. Brownlee, I thought it was interesting. He opens up about what he struggles with and what he's working on and things like that. He said the biggest difference this year is my mind's not all over the place.
Right.
He said coming in as a rookie, and he ended up playing immediately. He said his mind was everywhere. And now he said,
well.
Yeah, played well. And now he says, I know the playbook, so now I'm working on formations and studying formations and what this guy does and what this guy does. And he says it's really helping him with his game.
Yeah, and which, makes perfect sense because I did happen to, in spending some time with Denard, the defensive coordinator, I got a real sense of the number of coverages, for instance, that they run, and it's mind-boggling. I mean, all these coverage, and this is true, of every coach in the league. He's not the only one, because I've had these conversations with defensive coordinators before. But, people might think, oh, we play cover 3. Well, there's 10 versions of cover 3. I happened to notice did a lot of stuff where they were, late rotation into cover 2, but there's versions of cover 2. Now, all this is conceptual, so it's not, if you understand the concept, you understand it, but still, there's little tweaks and little differences in this, what would be considered the same coverage that you have to understand with a term that's often used for defensive backs is body presence. How your body is positioned. How to play with the leverage, meaning, where's your help? How do you play to your help? There's all little things, and particularly on the back end, if you make a mistake, that could be a 60-yard touchdown. So that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how much... sorry, I'm just diving right in here.
No, go ahead.
Because we're talking about this defense. Obviously, Cam Ward didn't have a great day yesterday. A little bit of a bounce back today. Better in the beginning of practice, but then once it went unscripted...
I'm going to just push back on that, Dawn, if you don't mind.
No, I would love for you to.
And I'm asking you this as a representative of a fan here. How would you know whether he had a good day or a bad day? Seriously, because you don't know what he's being asked to do. Yeah. You don't know what the defense is being asked to do when Cam Ward is on the field. So if he throws an incompletion or an interception, the assumption is he's having a bad day. That is not necessarily the case at all. So
I think that's very true about yesterday. Today he made some really nice throws.
Right. He's a really good thrower of the football.
Yeah.
But he also overthrew Ridley, and right. You're going to see that.
Did he miss some throws? Of course. But I can tell you for a fact that one of the things the organization is doing and the coaching staff is doing, and they're doing it intentionally, is they are making things really hard for him quickly. They're doing that intentionally. They're putting him in really difficult situations, a lot of third and longs, which, by the way, third and long in the NFL, teams might convert maybe 21 or 22%. Mm-hmm. So, you have to...
This franchise knows that, Cosell.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's the average in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah. So, they're doing this intentionally because, number one, they believe that he can handle the fact that he will go through, hey, God, I'm not sure exactly what I'm seeing right now because I've never seen that before. And by the way, Denard Wilson is, in terms of schematics of pressure, is one of the best in the league. They're doing this also because when they go to Tampa, Todd Bowles is also a proven record of being one of the best in the league in terms of pressure concepts. So they want to put as much on Cam Ward's plate as possible. So, I think people have to understand one thing, that what training camp is for a lot of players, but certainly for rookie quarterbacks, is about failure and learning. That's what training camp is about. So coaches never they don't think in terms of failure. Oh, he had a bad day. They think in terms of, this is now a great learning way now. Now we see this, he sees it, we have it on tape, we sit with him, we go over it. It's all about the learning. I don't know what do people think that a rookie quarterback is going to come in and know everything and therefore be great on every snap?
That's what it would
I mean, clearly,
that's patently absurd.
I got that written down. How hard is it to remember that he's a rookie quarterback?
Right.
Exactly. And hold on, though.
Yeah.
Because to his point, this was going to be my question. When you watch what they're doing defensively, how different is what Cam's seeing now from this defensive scheme and everything,
that he's seen before in his life?
Yes.
He's never seen this before. He's never seen this before. And by the way, today...
That's exactly what I wanted you to point out.
They had what they call unscripted periods. So in other words, they had 3 of them. Therefore, Denard Wilson didn't know what the offense was going to call, and the offense didn't know what Denard Wilson was going to call. So it was a game. They were basically playing a game Brent, you were there, so you saw it. And that's... A lot of teams don't do that early in training camp, but they want to do that intentionally. So look, the fact is, they know who their first couple of opponents are. Week 1, they play the Denver Broncos at Denver. Vance Joseph has been in this league a long time, and he's a really difficult D coordinator to play against. Week 2, for the home opener, they play the Rams, who over the last 7-8 weeks last season, their defense was great. Week 4, I believe they play Houston. If memory serves me correctly. I don't know if it's here or in Houston, but I believe they play Houston week 4. And Houston has one of the best defenses in the NFL. So, they're not looking to spoon feed. They're not looking, and I don't mean to be sarcastic at all, but they're not looking to have Cam Ward go through practice so that the beat writers can tweet out, Cam had a great day. He was 14 for 15. Yeah. They don't care about that. That's not even relevant to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. It's the Broncos, Rams, Colts, and Texans.
And where's the Texans game?
The Texans is at Houston.
Yeah, so I mean, three. No knock on the Colts,
right.
But
Colts are here.
Right, but 3 of those first 4 games are really ridiculously difficult defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really
Sorry,
interesting.
go ahead.
No.
But that was like leading to my question at how much. I mean, like, did he ever see anything like that at Miami?
Yeah,
you know?
and I want to go. I wanted to transition to a point that you've made before about Jaden Daniels and the early part of that season, because I think everybody thinks, oh, NFC Championship game, rookie quarterback, he was awesome, blah, 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 blah. But they handled it a little in an interesting way at the beginning of the season to kind of ramp him up, and we'll go from there. 615-737-1045 if you have a question. Greg Cosell in studio from NFL Films and NFL Matchup, 3HL 1045.